One of my most frequently asked questions is, where do I get my supplies from? When you're sewing lingerie, it does require some really specific elastics and different kinds of notions. And over the years, I have amassed quite a list of favorites, as well as some shops that I haven't tried yet, but have been bookmarked in my favorites for a long time. And I wanted to share some of those with you. I don't always share the specific place where I get a specific fabric from in my made to order collection, because as a designer, I spend a lot of time sourcing materials and sourcing trims and putting it all together. So there are some kind of trade secrets that I do like to keep. However, there are some really great resources that I just think are so wonderful that I want to share them with everyone. Now, I live in Canada, so many of these are Canada specific, but I do have a lot of different suppliers that I buy from in the US, as well as some international suppliers as well. If you are from elsewhere in the world and you have a favorite supplier, please feel free to leave me a comment in the comments below, just because I would love to learn more about the different suppliers all around the world. That is one of my favorite things about the internet, is it literally opens up the whole entire world to you. I have one more thing to add. I am dog sitting my mom's dog this week, or for a little while anyways, while she recovers from surgery. So if you hear some tussling in the background, that would be my dog Leah and Izzy Bear wrestling, because they cannot leave each other alone, but they love each other. Anyways, without further ado, here are some of my favorite fabric and supply shops for sewing lingerie. So my old go-to was always fabric.com, and it was recently, well, maybe not so recently, but within the last couple of years, it was purchased by Amazon, and I am sad to say Amazon completely destroyed it. So it basically was absorbed into Amazon. The thing I liked about fabric.com is you could find pretty much anything, and their search function worked really well. They were just a really great source for basics, and now they are gone. So I have been kind of searching for my go-to shop for basics, but I do have a few that I like to purchase from. I'm going to start with my favorite shops that are in the US. And there are a few that specialize just in spandex fabrics. So there is Stretch House, which is probably my favorite. And then there's also Spandex House and Spandex World. Again, as their names imply, they specialize in stretch and spandex blend fabrics. It's a great source for stretch satins, for stretch velvet, stretch mesh, all of those kind of basics. They also carry prints and a variety of other fabrics as well. For more general offerings, I really like Mood. I find them to be on the higher end price-wise, but if you're looking for silks or designer ends, that kind of thing, Mood is a great place to go. They also have a lot of free patterns on their website. One of my other longtime favorites is Girl Charlie. They, again, specialize mostly in knits. They run the gamut from cotton spandex to like a cotton spandex jersey to French terry, all kinds of good basic cotton fabrics, and I find their price is really good. That was the thing that first drew me to Girl Charlie, is they had some basic in-house prints that were really cute, but they also have really great pricing. I find, again, being in Canada, shipping to Canada can be expensive, but in the end, it tends to kind of even itself out when you consider the cost of the price of the fabrics per yard. A couple of other shops that I like that are in the US are stores like Fashion Fabrics Club. Now, I haven't ordered from them for a long time, but they're another one that has a really large offering of fabric. So wovens, knits, all kinds of, pretty much everything you could ever need. So you just need to know what you're looking for going in so you can search for the specific category. In Canada, there are a few go-to shops for me, and my first one is Fabric Snob for basics. Their Luxe Jersey is one of my favorite for just a solid jersey fabric, but they also carry lots of different knit prints. They also have some custom designs. And on the topic of custom designs, there are a few designers. I think I've done an unboxing of blended threads. They do custom designs. They're all pre-order fabrics, and you can get some really nice, really good quality fabrics. The downside is you have to wait for a while to get your fabric in because it is pre-order. It tends to be more expensive, but in my experience, the fabric that I've always bought pre-order from these companies has been a really good quality. Specifically blended threads, they're in Canada. I really, really like them, and their prints are really cute and unique. On the topic of custom print fabrics, Halo also has a great selection of custom prints, and they specialize in athletic and performance fabrics, which is great if you're sewing my Birch no-show panties. They are also in Canada. Another great source in Canada is a shop called Fabric. They are located in Toronto. They're another one, kind of like Fashion Fabrics Club in the US. They have a large selection of fabrics, so whether you're looking for knits or wovens, they have pretty much everything you could need. They have a nice selection of silks, which is how I kind of first started purchasing from them. There are a couple other shops that I haven't purchased from, GK Fashion Fabrics in particular, which is also in Ontario. They look like they've got some really nice fabrics. They actually have a storefront here, and I keep meaning to take a drive down there to see it. If you'd be interested in me doing a video, maybe going to visit their location, let me know. I would love to do that. I'm just going to quickly list off a couple other Canadian shops that I really like. Bibs and Boots, I've done an unboxing of them. They're really cute. They've got some great prints and lots of like Euro prints, organics, that kind of thing. And then another one that I really like is Thread Count Fabrics. It looks like they're coming out with some custom prints, and they have a lot of great basics as well. Like if you're looking for solid knits or solid bamboo, that kind of thing, they tend to be one of my go-tos. One of my absolute favorite places to search for fabric is actually Etsy. And I'm saying this as a shopper on Etsy, not just an Etsy seller, but it is a great place to find fabrics. And one of the things that I like about it is that you can narrow it down by location. So if you only want to purchase from your own country, you can narrow that down in the search bar, or you can filter it through their search function. But there are a lot of great international sellers on Etsy. There's a lot of places that I kind of go back to over and over and over again, and there are a lot of shops that I have saved in my favorites. If you are purchasing from an international seller, please do be patient. Sometimes the mail can take a long time. I am lucky that local to me, I have a Lens Mills shop. This is specific to Ontario. They're actually a liquidation store chain, but they also have a huge fabric and craft section. So they have some really great basics, and sometimes I find some different prints and that kind of thing. The other store we have here in Canada is Fabricland, and full disclosure, I used to work for Fabricland. I worked at their design studio and in 2 of their stores. So they carry some good basics, like some Telio fabrics and that kind of thing. I do find often they carry mostly a lot of polyester and more synthetic fabric. I just tend to gravitate more to natural fibers, so I don't tend to buy a lot from them. But if they are local to you, sometimes you can find some really great prints, really good designer ends, and some of those Telio fabrics. Like I'm pretty sure Telio stretch mesh is carried in Fabricland stores. They're similar to a Joann's, they just don't have as much knitting supplies as Joann's has. The other places I like to shop locally, believe it or not, are Value Village and thrift stores. I love scoring vintage fabric. I think it's a great way to prevent things from going to the landfill, and you can score some really unique fabrics that way. The only downside is if you are using those pieces as a designer, it limits the amount of that particular style that you can sell. But I know I have a small hoard of vintage fabric I have collected for myself. Still within the realm of fabrics, lately there have popped up quite a few fabric printers that are pretty great. So pretty much everyone knows Spoonflower. They offer a whole gallery of designer prints that you can choose from and have custom printed on a variety of different bases. But there are other shops as well popping up. One of them that I have purchased from before is Carriage House Printery, and they offer a bunch of different bases, including bamboo, which is one of my favorite, and some swim bases. They have prints you can choose from, but you can also upload your own print. So this is really great if you want to purchase artwork from an artist, or if you are creative enough to create your own repeatable artwork. You can upload it on their website and they custom print it for you at their location. Carriage House Printery is located in the United States. Carriage House is not the only custom printer. There are a number of different ones. They're just the one that I personally have used before. So that pretty much covers fabrics. So that covers everything from your custom kind of spandex fabrics to your general fashion fabrics and custom prints. The thing that really makes lingerie sewing tricky is that you need specialty elastics and closures and all of those little bits and bobs to complete your projects. And my number one place that I always recommend people go to is Bra Maker Supply. They, again, are in Canada, but their selection of bra making supplies is just, it's wonderful. So whether you're looking for underwires or band elastic, strap elastic, whatever kind of elastic, they have it. And they have it in a number of colors, and you can always reorder it. They don't buy ends, they have their own stock that is repeatable. So if you are a designer or if you're making a lot of something, it's great because you can always go back and reorder from there. The other one that is kind of similar to Bra Maker Supply but is in the US is So Sassy. I haven't ordered from them in a long time. I did double check, their website's still up. It's looking pretty dated, but I've gotten some really great elastics from there. They do seem to get like buyouts of elastics, so they're limited stocks on some of their things, but I've gotten some of my favorite elastics from So Sassy. They are totally worth browsing around. And then again, Etsy is a great resource. I have a couple shops that I buy from, like Tailor Made Shop and Emerald Erin. I have purchased elastics from both of them. But if you just search in lingerie elastic by the yard or however you want to purchase it, you're going to come up with quite a number of different sellers who are selling lingerie elastic. Lastly, I want to touch on AliExpress. And they are actually a great resource for trims, stretch lace, and different bra making supplies. So I haven't really bought much fabric off of AliExpress, but I have bought a lot of stretch scalloped lace and different bra making bits and bobs. I find the selection and color is really large. I would say the downside is you do tend to buy things in a higher quantity. So if you're only ever planning on making one bra, you're probably better off to just go to Bra Maker Supply or Tailor Made Shop or So Sassy and just buy one pair as opposed to having to buy a dozen on AliExpress. But if lingerie making is something that you do a lot and you have a lot of fun doing it, AliExpress is great. You can get some really great deals and the quality is good. It is really good. The last thing I'm going to touch on is Wawak, and they are a great source for general sewing supplies like thread, zippers, needles, all of those kind of things, but they also do have some bra and lingerie notions. So here you can see just a little bit of what they have, cups and some straps and elastic, that kind of thing. One of the big draws of this company is that they have fast shipping. It's not quite as fast in Canada as it is in the US, which I think is next day, but they are still a great company to work with. So I'm going to compile all of this into a blog post. Instead of sharing individual links in the description below, I'm just going to share a link to my blog where you will find a complete list with some more details about what I like about each different shop. And if I have missed out on one of your favorite shops, leave it in the comments below because I love online shopping. Well, I love online browsing. I love the shopping, but let's just be honest, I don't have the funds to be doing all the shopping that I always want to do. I hope you found that helpful as a starting place, or maybe you are an experienced sewer and maybe I've mentioned some shops that you know or some that you're just discovering. If you liked what you saw today, I would really appreciate it if you would click the like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me kind of spread the good sewing word across the interwebs. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, girls. We want some treats. There's a good girl. Yes. Who is the cutest puppies?